My name's Thea and I've been single for almost, a bit over a year, yeah. So I'm 24 and I've lived in Newcastle for the majority of my life, minus a couple of years. And I kind of feel like it didn't really feel like home until I moved away, but then coming back, I felt more grounded and settled, and yeah, it definitely feels like home now. I grew up in a Christian home, and so we sang a lot of church music, and I was always taught classical music, so like some symphonies and sonatas and stuff. But when I was 13, I was like rebellious and I wanted to start listening to bands and writing my own songs and stuff. So I did. Eventually it kind of morphed into like experimental electronic. I sing for this church here, and so when this came up for some new tenants, they kind of offered me, and of course I said yes because it's just a nice place to live and I really love it here. It's kind of the first place that I really have settled down. My ex now, we kind of had similar tastes in music, one artist in particular, and we were kind of like super fans of them. So we kind of bonded over that, and then we decided to make some of our own music together. A couple of years into that, we decided to start dating. After a few months of dating, we were just so close and didn't really spend much time apart at all. So we were like, let's get married. It was with his grandfather's ring. We were going to make some music and we kind of got into the studio, and he kind of like swiveled my chair around and he was like down on his knees. So yeah, kind of surprised. It was just nice. Yeah, that'd be a nice day to relive. But like as myself, if I could relive that as myself, that'd be pretty nice. It definitely seemed perfect at the time. And I didn't even know that there was some part of me that was wanting to transition, but just previous experiences with telling a boyfriend just had made me just very kind of scared of telling anyone. The first time I said something, I didn't really initiate the conversation, just, I mean, he noticed that I liked to wear makeup, and he didn't really understand my obsessive need to shave my face. And I didn't really even know how to convey it to him. The Danish Girl was suggested to us by a friend, and so we went and watched it, and I had said nothing of trans things or wanting to transition. And there's the scene where Lily is being the model for Gerda for the first time, and he just looks at me and he's like, "That's you, isn't it?" And I'm like, oh, like I didn't say a thing. That was probably one of the longest conversations I think I've ever had with anyone, and just lots of like fear and emotions that like wasn't the person that he thought he knew, and maybe that he would lose me. I mean, we stayed together for a good while after that, so I knew that he still loved me, or what he knew of me. Yeah. I still loved him, and previously we had kind of talked, and I'd promised him I will never, I won't transition. Like, I value this more than ever wanting to do that, and which was a really hard thing for me to decide, and it didn't really sit right with me. Looking back, it's not particularly sad because we kind of just realized our differences and drifted apart, and I don't know, I just ended up feeling more empowered in myself and kind of less dependent on the relationship to be my identity. I think it was just really being honest with myself and letting go. And I know the day that I left him, I cried a lot. But on the other side of that, everything is just so much better. And even talking to him since then, it's like, I don't know how I didn't transition sooner. I have just a long way to go with transition before I think I'll start dating again, but I do want to, I definitely do. I think in transitioning and being right within myself, and now externally as well, I'm just so much more free and a lot happier. My mental health is up like 100%. And I feel like it's not just me that noticed the change either, because a lot of my friends have said to me, it's like they met me for the first time, or that I laugh more now. I feel like I'm just focusing on myself and being better as a person. Just doing things that I have always wanted to do, like sewing and making music. I feel like maybe I'll start performing again, actually as myself, because before it kind of, there was a disconnect between what I felt I was inside, and now having transitioned, it's like a whole new thing, and people don't really know who I am yet, but that would be nice to show them, I guess. Yeah. I'll just talk loudly and constantly.